Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, you can send me an email to the Mike Wagner Show at gmail.com, or you could also donate to the podcast. Just go to the donate listen site, and you can also donate whatever you like. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. For those who are interested, Anchor can give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. We've got creation tools, allows you to record and edit podcasts so it sounds great, and they'll distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Google, many more. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. So download the Anchor app for free or go to Anchor FM to get started.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play and Apple, Deezer, Stitcher, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here back once again with a wonderful actress from Grand Rapids, Michigan. She's been in quite a number of movies, including Gun, Setup, and The End of the Tour. She's worked with some well-known actors and actresses as well, too. She previously was on the show, and she's also got another project that has been in the works as well, too. And last we talked, she was working on a project which raised a unique awareness, and it's really come to fruition. And we're also going to talk about her latest venture. You can also see on the World Wide Web and also on cable as well, too, if you happen to be in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So live, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome back a very wonderful and talented lady, once again, the Queen of Western Michigan, Carrie Bradstreet. Carrie, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us again.
Oh, I thank you. Well, such a lovely introduction. Now, if only people could see me in my workout clothes and Band-Aids on my fingers and tennis shoes. Like a queen.
Band-Aid on your fingers. What did you do? Try doing a workout with the Ginsu knife or ninja knife or something?
No. Those who follow my podcast, they've been hearing about my home remodeling ventures that I've been doing all summer long. It was almost like 4 weeks ago tomorrow, I did a major injury cuts to my thumb, 24 stitches.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. So I'm still kind of nursing that with wraps on it to protect it from more of my projects.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Reality TV to the extreme. Oh man, oh man.
So not really feeling like the Queen of West Michigan, but I really appreciate that designation.
That is not a problem. Of course, last we talked, you've been working on a project called The End of the Tour, and you also had a movie that you shot during the festival circuit about the opioid crisis. And
yes, as a matter of fact, I just found out yesterday, and I guess it happened. There was a ceremony. There was a festival that was done in Eastern Europe.
Wow.
And I was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, and I won.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So I just found out last night that I had won that. So I thought, well, that's awfully nice.
Oh, my gosh. Perfect timing, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I was talking to the director. He is a Michigan doctor, but this guy has his hands in everything, and now he's into movie making, doing films and what have you, and going to be marketing this film. He is a doctor that deals with pain management. So he, deals with people who take, prescription pain medication. So he knows that whole thing. And so this movie was written by him and directed and edited and everything by him. And it's going through the film festivals right now, but he is actually changing the movie that that's been in the film festivals that I was nominated for, was called No Maximal Dose.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess now they're changing the title and kind of making it focus more on the thriller kind of part of this part of the movie, shortened it. And so it's going to be great to be out on a lot of streaming websites, what have you. And it really takes a good look at what the different parts of society that can get hooked on opioids, from those who actually need the drugs, to those who get their kids who get their hands on it and get addicted, and those who are the seedy side of society that are dealing in it. And it all stems around the doctor that I play, the doctor who's kind of the center of all this through her clinic. And you see the background of the lives of all these people and how one incident ended up affecting a whole bunch of people and made this very dramatic thriller type of a movie. So I think it would be very good and very entertaining and educational for a lot of people. So I'm excited to see where this goes in 2020. I guess is by the time we probably gets out on streaming channels.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And when did you say this is coming out?
Well, it's in the festival runs right now, and so I think that it would be next year, in 2020 at some point. They're making several short films out of it as well and running in festivals, taking some of the individual characters and doing like short films, kind of just, focusing on, the opioid, crisis in on those characters' lives. But as far as I know, they're looking, he's, doing the distribution, getting all that down right now. So hoping that it'll be, the first part of 2020.
Looking forward to it as well, too. And also, how'd you first get involved with the project?
I did an audition. I just had casting notice. I did an audition for a couple of the roles that were in there, and I was selected for the lead role. I kind of I'm not one that likes to take on a whole lot of lines. I'm not one that I like to be a character and act, but to learn lines, I don't know, it's just my old brain or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And the last couple of movies I had has just been bogged down with tons and tons of dialogue. Well, I ended up getting cast in the main role.
Oh, very nice. Take 2 aspirins and call us in the morning.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? But it ended up being really good. And working, with the writer and the director, he could be a doctor. I was kind of being trained along the way how to look like and, be performing things that look like a real doctor. And I learned so much. Just pronunciation of some of these drugs that I had never heard of. And now I hear it all the time because this is all what's on the news now is, people that are, addicted to opioids and, different treatments that they have to help people get off from opioids. And so it's very familiar to me now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and of course, be involved in the opioid crisis as well, too. And do you have you worked with any people or know of any people that have been involved in the opioid crisis?
Anyone specifically, personally, like a friend or a family member, but I have friends of friends, that I've seen, and some acquaintances that will talk about family members or whatnot that have had that issue, and friends that actually have told me about somebody that they worked for. She was a nanny for a woman, and they had 4 little kids and didn't realize after about a year that this woman she worked for a hospital and was, addicted and stealing drugs and ended up getting arrested.
Wow.
And it's like, wow, yeah, it's just, on the outside, everything looks, like a happy, well-to-do family and all this, and you just never know.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you talk about the people stealing drugs, especially opioids and all that.
Yeah.
How many people that or what do you think the percentage is? Just steal these drugs like the opioids while working in a hospital. I guess that's something that just comes up. I was like, is it common? Is it rare? Or is it like just once in a while? It's like, based on what you observed and being in the film.
Yeah, I think well, we kind of addressed some of that in the film. So I am not an expert in any way, but it looks as though it can be quite common. But I think in the last year or so with the government coming in and being so restrictive on how many pills that people can be getting for pain, and a lot of those restrictions, it may have cut back on a lot of that. But I think it's hard for anyone to always keep track. Like my husband, he's had surgeries and will come home and have some oxycodones or whatever, and not finish them.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be sitting in a cupboard. And they say, this happens a lot. There's, people have medicines that goes unused and just sits around, and for, someone else to find, another family member, or, kids get into, can break into homes and get in people's medicine cabinets and steal these drugs. And then when they can't get those drugs, that's when they turn to heroin and things on the street. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's kind of how things go. They get stuck on the one, and then they can't get it anymore, and so it's cheaper and more accessible to get the heroin on the streets, and it's terrible.
And of course, based on being in a movie as well, too. What did you learn from the opioid crisis?
Well, I'll give away the whole movie, but
no. We're just simply saying what you learned from it personally.
Well, yeah, that's what I learned is what basically what my character basically was talking about, how this really started back in the 80s, and how the drug company involvement in all of this, and just the kind of history of how this all, it's much bigger than just some people getting on some pain medication and can't get off of it. It is almost as if, the big pharmaceuticals and whatnot are all in cahoots together, and we're basically getting people addicted on this stuff. And it's something that I really didn't really understand, and then I also didn't really see how devastating it can be, especially to those who actually are in chronic pain and can't ever get relief from pain, and now they have to deal with all these people that have been abusing them. That makes it harder for them to get adequate dosages and to get their pain relief, because they're being looked at as being drug addicts or whatever too, because they're taking opioids for years at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's needed.
And of course, the film will be coming out later as well, too, and you can also keep us up to date. We're definitely looking forward to seeing on the film as well, too, and keep us up to date on Facebook when the movie will come out.
Yeah, I will do that, sure.
Sounds great. Okay, we'll also talk about your other venture as well, too. You've been very excited about us. You've been posting on Facebook, and I'm very impressed. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all you need. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Deezer, Stitcher, and more. You can take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Western Michigan actress Carrie Bradstreet talking about the latest drama thriller involving the opioid crisis coming streaming very soon in 2020. And she's also had some various works as well, too. You can check out her website as well, too, at IMDb at Carrie Bradstreet. And you can also check out some of her works as well, too. You also go to the Mike Wagner Show on the first interview with Carrie Bradstreet, and great to have her back on again. And, of course, you also ventured into something that is something out of the ordinary, which anything goes, and it's the Whole Picture podcast, where you get to be the podcast host. And tell us all about it.
Yeah, that's crazy, too. Yeah, that started, I think we just did our 26th episud. And
wow.
So it's been a weekly podcast, so I guess that goes back almost 6 months that we, started this. A former co-host of a sketch comedy show that we used to do in Grand Rapids. We did for about 8 years or so, and that had kind of ran its course. People had other things to do, and it was kind of hard to keep up with, volunteers to be, putting on a television show, and so. The gentleman who did that show originally and co-hosted it with me, he asked if I would like to co-host a podcast with him. And I have a hard time saying no to people.
And you do a great job, like, oh, I'll do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh boy, what kind of a commitment is that going to be? And so I thought, well, let me give it a try. And so, first did it. It was about a half an hour show, and it didn't take as much time because basically all I had to do was show up, and we just talked about anything, and I got to go home. And I thought, well, this is not bad. not like on my other show where we're responsible for doing so much more, and putting a show together. So I thought, oh, yeah, I can handle this. Well, our show now, I had to try to keep it down for an hour. I was like, we just go on and on and on talking. And it's like, yikes. I don't know if anybody's sitting around and listening to us for that long, but it just now is just really fun. And Anything Goes is the name of it. And we pretty much talk about anything. My co-host, Larry Swanson, he's kind of the old school, I don't know how I would describe him, maybe not chauvinistic, but he's very politically incorrect, and I'm kind of like the buffer, kind of sidekick to him, and it just kind of works out pretty good. So
sounds like you have a great chemistry. And who are some of the guests that you had on the show?
Well, we've had actually some former castmates we've had on our show. We've had also someone who wanted me to host a crime drama reenactment show out of Lansing, Michigan. And so we invited him up to come talk about what his idea was for that, kind of like America's Most Wanted, but for, that uses Facebook and whatnot. One of our former guests was a huge Trump supporter, and she got married the 4th of July this year, and she had a Trump-themed wedding. And so she, and then from there, national recognition, and of course, all the positive and negatives that came with being a Trump supporter. So we got to hear about all the trials and tribulations of being nationally known and getting hate mail and all this kind of stuff. So that was quite interesting.
I can imagine this, being Make America Great Again. I can imagine this: make our wedding great again, Mauga. So make our wedding great again. It's like, do you love your husband? Of course you bleep. Do you love your wife? Of course. Now kiss, Melania. Oh, sorry, your wife.
Yeah, they had actually got, she was in contact with Ivanka's personal secretary, I think, and they had sent her a autographed, they had taken one of their wedding pictures and had it sent to them and signed by the president, and that was sent to them. So the president did see their wedding pictures, and so that was quite exciting for her, and she's still on the still on the Trump train, and so yeah, we may have to have her on again. It made for quite a few more listeners to our podcast when she was sharing that with all of her friends and what have you. So, which makes the pod, like I mentioned before, is with podcasts, there's hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there. So how do you get somebody to want to listen to yours? And it's all about, sharing the podcast with friends and having them, like it and share it, and hopefully can grow somewhat of a base of people who really give a crap about
it kind of reminds me of that shampoo commercial. It's like, it's so great that I told two of my friends, and they told two of their friends, and told two of their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. And I'm sure you remember that commercial as well, too, that that is like, it just stuck in the minds. It may have been irritating, but it's actually very effective. And with the podcast, I have to say that you get like a few friends to listen, they tell their friends, and that's what Facebook and Instagram and Twitter is there for. They tell to their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. And how many people do you actually listen to the podcast? Like, what's your average? I
would only base it on from what numbers I can see. I don't know about the actual podcast, which goes through the KTV, where it's done. They have they're all podcasts on one of their websites, and then they do the video portion. They will share at Whole Picture Podcasts on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I can see like how many people have viewed, the link that they've put up there, but I don't know if that just reflects just people who are pulling up that specific video from there, if it's shared somewhere else, if it's shown, it's probably around anywhere from 100 to 350 probably people would watch it each week.
Wow, amazing.
So I don't know, like I said, I don't know if that's 3 people and they keep turning it on and turning it off, and so it's counting as
Hey, I'm one of them that watch your podcast. You guys are fantastic, especially you, Carrie.
I appreciate that. No, I've got self-deprecating humor, and so if most people that know me understand it, I don't know if people who don't really know me, they'll say, "Why are you so mean to yourself?" It's like, I'm not mean to myself. I'm just very honest, and so I'm very honest about things when I talk on the podcast. So no pretenses and no filters or whatever to make me look better, which I would do if I knew how to do. But
right, exactly. And of course, you've been involved in yourself, playing a host and also playing reality TV, like with Home Improvement, Kitchen, and everything else. And just having your own reality TV. It's like, what's it like, playing like a reality TV host, like say, how to do this and how to do that? What's that like for you?
I know, you know what? It is kind of fun, and it does also make you very aware of what you say, because a lot of times when you talk and you share and you talk to friends and talk to family, you have a certain way of talking, or you might say something without thinking. Well, when you're on like a podcast and you're talking about things, or talk about other people, it's like, I've got to be really careful what I say, because I don't know who all is going to hear this, or how someone's going to interpret what I'm saying, or if they're going to be thinking that I'm very stupid, or if they're thinking that what is she talking about? She has no idea what she's talking about. And so from someone who used to have a lot of anxiety about, what other people think and what have you, I've come quite a long way from worrying about that so much, and just figure, hey, if anybody has a problem with me, or doesn't like what I have to say, or thinks that I'm dumb or stupid or whatever, I just figure, hey, that's their prerogative, and hey, if they're listening to the show, that's good for me. So um, I just kind of look at it this way and try not to be worried about what other people say or think, and have not gotten any negative comments or anything so far. And that I don't know if the station is intercepting them for me or not.
But then again, you got Facebook as well, too. It's like you're not just stuck in Grand Rapids. You're all over on Facebook as well, too. So people can say whatever they want. It doesn't have to be in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, yeah, I do have people that are from other parts of the country or what have you that listen to it as well. And so that's fun. It's kind of like having your own little personal newsletter, that you put out every week, and people can kind of keep up with you or find out what you're doing. That's what my mother does. She goes, if I want to find out what you're up to, I have to listen to your podcast.
That's good. Hey, Mom, remember that meal you cooked for me a while back? Could you make it for me, please? Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So, because I'm not one, generally, I would never call people and talk on the phone. I would never just talk. I would be one who's just a listener. So this has forced me to be one who has to talk constantly, because you can't be having dead air, so it's going to force me to be more of a talker. And what do I know to talk about? Just basically myself and what I'm doing. So that's what I'm saying.
And of course, you got everything right in front of you, like your Android, your smartphone, your tablets, and everything. Just Google, pick a subject, or maybe you can just pick up Google Voice. It's like, say, what do we talk about? It'll come up with a million things, or you can have Alexa and say, Alexa, tell me what should I talk about? You'll get to that point with Alexa.
Yeah, it's even just having the radio on the way to the studio, and you'll hear something, and it's, that gives you, something to bring up, something to talk about. So it hasn't been an issue so far. So just keep going with it. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. We'll go again tomorrow, so I will talk about you tomorrow. I'll talk about your show.
That's a great idea. Thank you very much. And I love positive comments as well, too. And I'm also welcome to feedback. Yeah. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, of course. No, that means I will be happy to talk about you tomorrow.
Oh, definitely, too. And tell us about who do you have upcoming on your show as well, too, and where and what time can people tune into your podcast?
Well, it's done where we record it, and then it's uploaded to the web. So it's usually the same day. We have been doing Tuesday mornings, so we will do tomorrow. And so tomorrow afternoon on Facebook, the Whole Picture Podcasts, you find Anything Goes, probably episode 27 or something. That will show up there. Otherwise, the podcasts, those go up almost immediately. They go to wktvjournal.org, and then all of their podcasts are on there that WKTV does through their studios. And Anything Goes is ours. And like I tell other people, I listen. I'm a multitasker, so I'll have podcasts on my computer, like while I'm doing my work, and so I'm just listening. I don't have to be, actually setting time aside and sit and watch, a podcast. It's kind of like having a little talk radio or something on in the background, and so that's kind of what I tell people. Don't feel like you got to sit and watch my podcast. If you want to support me, just have it on in the background. You can be cleaning your toilets, do whatever you want, and just be listening to me in the background. But it's a way to multitask and hopefully be entertained at the same time.
That is fantastic. We'll once again talk about your podcast and everything, your future plans. But first, you listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, Take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Deezer, Stitcher, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with actress Carrie Bradstreet from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Not only she's an actress, but she got to play in a movie involving the Opioid Crisis, which is about to become a drama thriller. We talked about that, and it'll be coming to the streaming services very shortly in 2020. And we also talked about the Whole Picture podcast, Where Anything Goes. And Where Anything Goes, we really enjoyed ourselves. And Carrie, just a few minutes right here, and I knew you're multitasking on a bunch of things. You got a lot of things coming up. And what do you have plans coming up for 2020 in terms of acting or special projects or anything like that in 2020?
I'm just really trying to focus on trying to travel a lot more for my work, and I've done quite a bit of that. There's not a whole lot of work in West Michigan as far as acting and whatnot, so I have had to travel. But now I think I have the means and the wherewithal to be able to, maybe go for a longer period of time, maybe out to California or Atlanta or Texas, and possibly get some more long-term roles. But it's really it's hard to get booked on anything, let alone something that's a series or whatnot. But that's kind of my goal. I also was going to audition they're looking for hosts for HSN and QVC. I thought, well, maybe I could do something like that.
You say QVC?
QVC and HSN, they're looking for hosts too.
Oh, wow. You would be a great sales lady, I'll tell you that. And, Emmy, let us know what time you're on. I've got my debit card ready. My wife's got the credit card. I've got friends that have debit and credit cards and PayPal, and we are set to order from you. I mean, I've got right here, except it was on video. I don't want anybody getting a hold of my number. So, yeah, it's like, let us know when you can be on a host. We'll tune you in, and we'll definitely buy something from you. So feel very honored if you do, and keep us up to date with that.
I will.
Oh, that's fantastic. And, of course, just a couple of things as well, too. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
That's looking to be to acting?
It can be anything, like we talked about, podcasting or acting or just anything in general, like anything goes.
I just think that find something that you're passionate about, something that you really love, and see if there's a way for you to either make a living at it or to have it as a hobby, so that if you have a job that you're going to and it's not satisfying you, you have something else that really is satisfying and fulfills you and gives you joy and purpose. Mm-hmm. And then this really makes life much more tolerable.
Mm-hmm. It almost sounds like the Geico Lizard, where it's like you don't go to work. It's like you just enjoy what you do every day, and it's not work. So
right, yeah,
that's the best way to look at it. Yep. All right, great. Actress Carrie Bradstreet from Western Michigan. She's been in some roles, and check her IMDb at imdb.com/Carrie Bradstreet. And also listen to The Mike Wagner Show on the first interview with Carrie Bradstreet and get an idea of how she got started and everything. Also tune into her podcast as well, too. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, your website, how the people contact you, and where can people listen to your podcast?
They can listen to the podcast if they want to see me. The video portion of it, if you go to Facebook, there's a page called The Whole Picture Podcasts, and then you will just look under videos and look for Anything Goes, and there will be 26 episodes. Start with episode 1 if you want to find out how we got started, and follow my wonderful home improvement projects that I've done all summer. And then you can also listen to the podcast at wktvjournal.org. And then they have Anything Goes podcast on there. I'm on Facebook. Most people can find me at Carrie Bradstreet. On Twitter, I don't use a lot of those as much, but IMBD under Carrie Bradstreet. Pretty much Google Carrie Bradstreet, and who knows what silly stuff will come up.
Mhm.
So
And also talk about your latest movie and where can they
yeah.
find that and when's that going to be out?
Well, the movie that we talked about was called No Maximal Dose, and that was the one that I just won the Best Supporting Actress for. But when it comes out, I was just learned yesterday, it's going to have another different title, and we're not 100% sure if what that new title is. I think it's America on Trial, but I'm not 100% sure. So then it's going to be kind of marketed more as like the thriller rather than the No Maximal Dose, which was more of like the clinical type of a thing. But that was a term that the doctors and pharmacies or pharmaceutical companies said that there's no maximal dose. You should be able to give people as much pain medicine as they want. It was a little unclear. I think people didn't quite understand what that title meant, and so I think it's with a new title, America on Trial, then that's what it would be coming out in the streaming services.
Okay. We're looking forward to that, too. And we can say, Doctor, give us a couple aspirins.
Exactly. I've played a doctor several times. And so, yeah, sometimes I fool myself into thinking.
And of course, you can still play one on TV and the podcast. That's the best thing.
I can. That's one thing I can do is I can come in and be any character I want to, because it's anything goes. I can do whatever I want. So
all right. We're looking forward to great things to come, Carrie, as well, too. Carrie Bradstreet, thank you very much. You've always been fantastic. Looking forward to having you on again in 2020. And do us a favor, keep this up to date. And don't forget, anything goes.
Thank you so much, Mike. It's so nice to talk to you.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.